Thanks, Colleen.
So if you don't have a charger, I have the charger to give away lunch. And then you're going to go around and you're going to have, the CERT trailer will be there, fire, police department, other services, parks and recreation will be there with the kids playing games. They have a hot air balloon, if you want to go in the hot air balloon, be there between 9:30 and 10:30 when it's cooler. Once it gets hot, they can't take you out.
And we're in the black.
We're in the black, we have 0, and that's on purpose, so we don't have to do tax forms and everything else. So now we're down to good of the order. Does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about regarding the city, or what you want to see the city do for you, get you more information? We meet twice a year. We meet in February, end of January, and just discuss what's gonna happen at this meeting. It's usually about 30 to 45 minutes at the most. Usually I've already reached out to the city to see who wants to come. And then the second meeting, of course, is the big annual meeting.
It was one morning, usually I think in January, and we would go out and we'd get volunteers and you just go to the spots where you thought they were and count heads.
Okay.
And we were up over, and that was, probably had way more than that, but it was over 300. And then we did one, I think we did one this year, I don't know the numbers. Last year, I think we were under 150, which is huge. Yeah, and so the ones that we deal with are the chronic homeless. The ones that want resources, we can get resources and, you know, and help solve the problem. The ones that you see out there are the ones usually that don't want the help, or just mental health wise, it's hard for them to accept the help.
Do you have relationships with other communities in the valley? So when there's a problem with a person who might be going from community to community, how do you handle that?
So we work with Cathedral City just because they border us. Dental Crossroads is over the freeway, and you really don't get the homeless kind of traveling, but here in Cathedral City on East Walk Canyon, you get it. So they have, I think, one officer that deals with the homeless, and we work with them a lot because we'll do the East Walk Canyon corridor and the Ramon Bridge, because there's like that dividing line between the cities, so we work with him and solve issues. So they pass along the information very well. We also have it's called a CBAT officer. It's an officer that deals 100% with mental health, and he has a clinician with him. And so it's more long-term, so they'll deal with the person, and some of them are homeless, but often not, but they'll follow up and they'll get them the resources that they need. You know, you get an officer doing it, and then maybe they'll contact the homeless person, but then they have to go off to the next emergency call, right? But our CBAT officer will follow up, and he'll make sure that they get the resources that they need.
What kind of training do you have to work with the homeless? And I mean, who are mentally disturbed? I mean, do you have a class that you take, and you have to be, because we see in the national news, and it's pretty scary about some of the incidents between mentally ill and police departments. What do you do here to prepare you for, vis-a-vis working with them?
We do get specialized training in homeless. We get the police academy, and then we get ongoing training, probably every year or 2 years with the homeless, or with mental health. Specifically, we had a service come out, trained up the whole department on autism and triggers. If somebody who has autism, and I could do, touch a water bottle, and that's a trigger for them, set them off, and then there's a use of force incident.
Right.
So I'd be able to identify that and to, communicate better, and just to have that more kind of tolerance and knowledge has been great. We train a lot.
And it's required for all officers?
It is, yeah, and we go through ongoing training all the time. It's homelessness, mental health, and then we'll get it, it's like, there's a cycle. We have a training program that we do, and it runs in a cycle.
I wanted to chime in one more on that, but we're one of the only cities in Southern California that are a certified autism employer. So every single one of our employees has gone through autism awareness training. So whether they're outward facing in parks or police or fire, that are dealing with residents, as well as those internal customer service facing that are dealing with one another at City Hall, hiring new employees. So every single employee has been through that training.
Because it isn't that.
I do remember that, Jerry. Beach Palm Springs, I guess, has the number, I know we were a couple of years ago, or substance abuse, or both, and it's hard for them to get things done. So that's where the resources are.
Do you have some numbers of the area of certain instances? Because it seems to me there's less. Since they
Less homeless?
started the development, the Canyon View development.